Hey everyone, thanks again for joining me on a special virtual visit edition of the Traveling in Ireland broadcast. Today I am joined by Hannah and Paddy Flynn, who own Roundwood House in County Laois. Roundwood House it's not a big grand country house, it's more of a smaller country house with a very intimate feel. And Paddy has become very well known for his evening dining experiences. So I'm really excited to talk with you both and let people know a little bit about Roundwood House and what you have going on in the best of times. And we're going to talk a little bit about something new that happened right about the time lockdown started and you gained a couple new family members. So how are you today?
We're very well,
great,
thank you.
Thanks a million for having us.
So your country house is set in County Laois, which is one of those counties that people tend to pass by or pass through without really stopping, which is a shame because you're right at the foot of the Slieve Blooms, which is a great spot to walk. And again, your country house is one of those almost hidden culinary experiences. So do you want to tell people a little bit about what you have and what you offer?
Well, yeah, I suppose one of the reasons people don't come here very as much as other places is it's unpronounceable. And so how are you going to tell people where you were if you can't tell them how to pronounce it?
County Laois.
County Laois.
Laois, yeah.
Yeah. And what was the, what was the other part of the question?
So yeah, it's a small Georgian house, as you say. So we have 10 bedrooms altogether. So 6 in the main house. We're in one of the bedrooms now. And then we have 4 in what was the original house, now called the Yellow House. And then we also have a couple of cottages on the grounds. And yeah, we're in a really hidden part of the country. So tourists that fly in tend to either holiday on the East Coast or the West Coast. And we pick a number of them up on the way over, from east to west or back to the airport again. But people often don't realize till they're here that it's a destination in its own right. And one of the huge advantages is that it's always quiet around here. So you can walk for hours in the mountains and not meet anyone. And it's just really unspoiled, untouristy. And as the tourist hotspots around the country get busier all the time, prior to lockdown, of course, it is, I suppose more appealing to people for that reason, because there's no coach tours or big sites with visitor centers, but a huge amount of amazing heritage sites, beautiful countryside, mountains, and no shortage of things to do.
And your house is, I believe, 1741, if I'm not mistaken, the Georgian house?
Yeah, it's actually 10 years older than that. We had a conservation architect stay here recently, and he said we were out by about 10 years. So we've brought that back to 1731.
That's an amazing amount of history. And I know, Hannah, that the house came to you through your parents, who also ran a bed and breakfast type situation through it. So this is kind of a heritage for you to be welcoming guests.
Yeah, so I grew up in the business, and then left at 17, headed off to college. Met Paddy in Galway on the West Coast, and he's Canadian, brought him back here. I'm one of 6, and we were the only ones that really thought we would be interested in taking on the business. And I think Paddy still wakes up and wonders how he ended up in the middle of County Laois, thousands of miles from home.
Well, I wonder with a smile on my face.
But Paddy, you've really made an imprint for yourself with your meals and your evening dining experiences. I know that we stayed there and it's been a number of years. It seems like those were just starting about that time. And in that time, as I've watched the changes go on, people rave about your food. So
Well,
you've become quite the chef.
I really enjoy cooking, and thankfully a lot of people enjoy eating what I cook. And yeah, and as we got busier, we made the addition of a friend of mine who's also a chef. And so with the two of us in the kitchen, he's been here for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
We were able to try different things and do more intricate, complicated things. And yeah, I think just the food has evolved over the last couple of years as our enthusiasm has grown, and yeah, it's gone very well. And I'll have to say that I think I know why the coronavirus happened. It was to thwart me from picking up my Chef of the Year award for Laois. They sent me the thing, they invited me to the party, and then the virus struck. So I'm going to look into that, but I still don't have my award.
That is unfortunate. And, you know, I think one of the funnest things, I watch your Instagram, I watch your Facebook, especially your Facebook. You have an amazing sense of humor that really comes out through that Facebook page. I know that a while back you had a not so kind letter from a journalist, and you really played that up in such a fun way. I believe she told you something about you needed to, I don't know, you had to bo peepify somehow. And
yeah, she being an American, she could speak for all of them, and she said what Americans want is more of a fairy tale vibe to the place. Think Little Bo Peep. And so we thought a lot about Little Bo Peep, and found her clothes and her hair and put it on and stood on the front steps and took a photo. It was fun.
I'll send you a photo, Jody. I know you probably saw it on Facebook, but I'll send you one anyway.
It was, I loved your responses, I suppose, because when you have that kind of pressure, sometimes it's tempting to become angry about it, maybe, or to become frustrated. And the attitude you took of it was to play with it. And I think that says a lot about you and a lot about what people can expect when they come to you. It's a lighthearted state. It's a relaxing state. It's not, you know, it's not booking into half a dozen activities and rushing around. It's really enjoying the sense of place and the peace and the calm. And that area that you're in is so wonderfully, and speaking, I'll speak for Americans, or speaking for this American, the true sense of history and peace that you get when you're in the heart of Ireland and in County Laois, where there aren't, I mean, you're not going to run into a lot of other tourists there. If you go walking on the Slieve Blooms, you're going to run into Irish people who are out enjoying an afternoon walk with their dog.
Yeah, and local farmers as well. Yeah, and of course people appreciate that so much, being able to actually chat to the locals. And then the other thing we do is communal dining. We give people the option, so there's no obligation, but it really, I think, suits Americans in particular because yeah, they tend to be here for a few weeks, and it's nice to have an opportunity to actually sit down and have dinner with the people that are, with people that you're not traveling with. And often there'll be a couple of Irish guests staying as well, so it's a real opportunity to get to know the locals.
Yeah, and unique enough, you know. Yeah, I mean, you'd probably as a non-Irish person, you bump into, you know, people in pubs and bars. Well, you would have back in the day, but yeah, the communal dining is cool. You sort of get quality time with people with local knowledge and insight, and it sort of points people in directions, and it's made friends. It's made sort of fast friends of previous strangers. You know, we got postcards from Irish guests who say, "Do you remember we met that couple from New York at your table?" Well, we're at their place in New York right now.
Yeah.
So there's like lots of nice. Yeah, it's sort of conducive. It's conducive to sort of that sort of quiet, slow getting to know each other that can sort of lead to other stuff. You know.
Actually,
Well,
just before the coronavirus, so a few weeks before lockdown, we had an American couple and a couple from Cork, and the Americans hadn't booked a hotel in the southwest, so they were heading that direction. And the Irish couple said, "Sure, why don't you come and stay with us?" And I got an email from the American lady the other day to say they had an amazing time in Cork.
That's
and
fabulous.
yeah, we're hosted by people that they met here, so it works really well.
Well, and it almost again harkens back to the days of Georgian Ireland when you would have house parties and you would have the, people coming together. Maybe they weren't all of the same social standing or of the same possibly group. And I think it gives a real great feeling of the history as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you added the cottages, which I was looking at right before we started chatting, and those are lovely two-person kind of romantic little getaways. I was actually surprised at the affordability of them. I thought that was pretty amazing. Now, if people are in the cottages, are they still able to avail of morning breakfast and book into dining and sit in your beautiful library?
Yeah, so we say to them when they book that as long as they give us advance notice, they can come in for breakfast and dinner, and the library's open to everyone as well. Yeah, wonderful. So it's a few perks if you stay in the cottage. Either of the cottages.
They look charming. So right before lockdown, you had a surprise addition to your family, and I've enjoyed watching that kind of unfold. And I don't know, maybe this is why the coronavirus happened, so you could take care of these new additions without distraction.
Yeah, so I was driving the girls to their Irish dancing class in the local town. And actually, while I tell this story, do you want to go and get them?
Oh, yes.
Driving our two daughters to their Irish dance class, and a car in front of us slowed down, and a little bundle of fur was thrown out onto the road, and it was a little dog, some kind of terrier cross. So we after about half an hour, we managed to coax her out from under the car and brought her to the vet, who told us that she was fit and healthy, but was expecting puppies in about 2 weeks. So the girls thought all their Christmases had come at once. I was a little more dubious, but yeah, she was very cute, and we decided we'd bring her home and see what happened. So here are the puppies and the girls. So they're now about, what are they, 8 weeks old? Yeah. And
so adorable.
We're a little sad today because we're rehoming one of them. We decided we always had one dog, and we had considered a second, but we hadn't considered 4. So 4 might be a bit intimidating for guests, we thought. So we're going to keep the little girl, Penny, and this little guy, Pluto, is actually being rehomed today. So we're saying goodbye at 6 o'clock today.
Oh.
But he's going to a very good home. We know the people that are taking him, and he'll be spoiled rotten. And we'll see him. We'll still be in touch. So it'll be a sad evening, but yeah, definitely.
Oh, but they're so
sweet.
sweet. Look at them. Look at the little faces.
They're pretty adorable, yeah. So they've been a great distraction for us all.
Oh, I bet. So Ireland has kind of given some guidelines for when things will reopen. I'm seeing that a lot of country, thank you, girls. I'm seeing that a lot of country house type hotels are kind of pinpointing July 20th as their reopening. So is that your plan as well?
Yeah, we're working on July 20th. Yeah. So we'll have to put in social distancing measures. So we haven't quite figured out how that's going to work. It goes against,
everything.
Everything that we've done to date.
Social communal dining, distancing.
So we probably won't be able to open all our rooms at that point. But we hope to be back into the swing of things in some shape or form on July 20th. Yeah.
I imagine that with that, people would probably have to sign, pardon me, maybe a consent form to say, it's okay for you to put me with a stranger. I'm allowing it and I won't come back. And
yeah. If they're even allowed, I would say we'll probably have to give the communal dining thing a miss for a while and maybe get back into that again next summer. I'd say, yeah, even if people wanted to, I'm not sure we'd be allowed this soon.
But altering your business.
None of the rooms are that big, so even if they're sitting at separate tables, and sometimes people opt for private dining anyway, but often what happens is you have, 4 or 5 tables in the dining room and they all end up chatting together anyway because the room is small and it has that nice intimate atmosphere. And yeah, it's nobody wants to sit in a dining room with everybody whispering to each other. So all it takes is one person to start chatting to another table, and then everybody gets involved in the conversation.
Right, and it will definitely change the way that feels for certain.
Yeah.
So right now the plan is to try to get things ready for July 20th, and hopefully you'll get a local market for sure, because I know that, again, people are going to be looking for a really great meal and to stay outside of their home. So when you get the 20 and 50K limits going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I've already had 3 inquiries just this morning, people making plans for the end of July and early August, and yeah, rooms are slowly starting to fill up again. So there were a few months where it was just cancellations, and most people would say, look, we'll come back next summer, or those from abroad referred to next year, but it was still a cancellation.
Right.
Whereas now when the phone rings, it's just as likely to be a booking as a cancellation. So that's positive.
That's very heartening to hear, because for a while things were looking very dim and a little grim, and to know that you've got more bookings coming in now has to certainly lift your spirits.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For anybody.
So, Pat, I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit, because I noticed that you've been doing a bit of singing on Saturdays.
I have. Yeah, we decided I've played music for my whole life, and when Ted joined a couple years ago, he found out he could sing, and Hannah decided it would probably be a better sort of use of our energies to do it in front of guests, as opposed to bottles of wine at night after service. So yeah, we started singing for guests, and now and that all led to the whole family getting involved. So we decided when lockdown happened that we would just sort of host a night from Roundwood, and we decided everybody's home all the days, so we picked Saturday, and we started doing a little show that mostly involves singing and showing puppies. Since we're down a puppy as of tonight, the next few shows we did the last one from the kitchen, and we're going to do it again the next few from the kitchen again, where we sing songs, show puppies, tell jokes, and cook something.
And people can catch that on your Facebook page, correct?
Yeah, on our Facebook page, Roundwood House.
Yeah, Facebook Live at 9 o'clock on Saturdays. Yeah, so we'll keep going with it for as long as we're closed.
So for those in the US,
we're canceling Saturday nights here. This is what we're doing from now on.
So for those in the US, 9 o'clock Irish time at night is 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific. So it's a good afternoon of entertainment if you're home on a Saturday. So where else can people learn more about Roundwood House, and how is the best way for them to book in?
So we actually just have a new website. It went live last week. So it's not completely finished. I just needed pressure put on me to finish it. So I thought, well, if it goes live, I can't have all these empty pages for too long. So Hasn't quite worked because there's still empty pages a couple of weeks in, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. So roundwoodhouse.com, and then there's a booking engine on our website, but we're always happy to take phone calls or emails either. So whatever suits people best.
Terrific. Well, I
suppose I should say the weekends tend to book up early, and already a lot of the weekends are gone for the end of July and August. But then for people traveling from overseas, midweek is often fine. So there's still lots and lots of availability midweek. And
also shameless plug time. I forgot to mention that Roundwood Kitchen Staff, which is the name of the band that performs on Saturdays, is releasing an EP, or has released an EP on Bandcamp, and we'll be releasing it on all the platforms, Spotify and all that kind of stuff, on June the 11th, I think. So if anybody wants to hear some songs that were created at Roundwood by guests who stayed at Roundwood, and also people who live and work here, look for Roundwood Kitchen Staff. On
Bandcamp. Yeah.
Bandcamp, on Bandcamp. Yes.
Fun.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you both for taking a few minutes to chat with me today, for showing me the puppies, because puppies make everything better. And telling us a little bit about what you have going on at Roundwood House and what's coming up. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Jody.